So, hey, if you can please hit the like and subscribe, I'd appreciate it. I got a surprise. All right, I made it up. All right, it's fake. Okay, it's not real. Okay, it's the wrong show. But it was still an idea. So I got it 3 years too late. Hey, welcome to the D. Lee's book series. I'm Christina K-R-S-T-I-N-A. This is where we read books, talk about books, no special effects, no theme music, no fancy stuff going on here, and horrible lighting. We're on season 2, disc 2 of Star Trek Voyager. And, a little bit better. It's a little bright in here today. But, the episodes are out of order and we're gonna go through them as they aired. And I think this is the last set that's like this. I think the rest of the season is okay. And I wanted to show you this. My office chair was being discarded because it was really huge, big and bulky. It was worn out. It didn't fit anywhere. It's so heavy to deal with because I bought it like 20 years ago. So anyway, I was wondering, how's my Klingon batleth? Right? Don't you think? Would it work? I just thought, I know it's the wrong show. There's no Klingons on here. But still, well, maybe Valana qualifies. But she doesn't go around like Worf with all the toys. Ah, come on. You gotta go with the flow. It was an idea. It's going in the trash. But anyways, want to go on record as saying this is one of those episodes that I don't like. I do not like. I do not like. Non-sequitur. Well, that's just great. Harry is kidnapped, dreaming, alien abduction. What's going on with Harry? So, hey, do they need to put the camera that close to his face? Does he need a camera here to see it? But apparently he's in bed with this chick. So apparently he's in bed with this girl, Libby, and she's waking him up and she's telling him that he has a meeting at 0900. You've been obsessing for a week. I don't want Lieutenant Laska blaming me because you weren't on time for the big meeting of your career. Now get dressed and I'll make you some breakfast. And then they're making breakfast and he's like, what's the date? 49011. So this isn't the past, it's the present. San Francisco. This can't be a dream. It's too real. It's too clear. So what does that leave? A holodeck? A hallucination? Some kind of trick? The last thing I remember was plotting a shuttlecraft on the way back to Voyager. We both have a long day ahead of us. Could we play this game a little later, please? She says. So there they are, having their little chit-chat. And she's like, no, you can't be Libby. It's not possible. My name is Ensign Kim of the Federation Starship Voyager. Where am I? Is this some sort of hallucination? You're not funny, Harry, talking about Voyager like that. The memorial service was 2 months ago. Danny was your best friend. How could you joke about it? Danny Bird, I've done this conversation. Go to work. I'll see you tonight. She gets dressed and leaves. So then he goes out, walking around, looking around at all the buildings, all the people. It would be nice if they both stood and faced the camera or sideways so you could get a view. But Cosmo calls to him, hands him a coffee, talks about the fact that it's the big day, about the meeting, the new ship he's designing. Don't forget, you promised to bring me a model. I'm going to hang it right there in the window. I'll tell everyone Harry Kim designed that ship. He came into my shop every morning. Look, I know this is going to sound a little funny, but how long have I been coming to this coffee shop? 8 months since you left the academy. Have you seen me every day? Well, not every day. You like to sleep in on Sunday. But if I had your fiance, I'd sleep in too. We're getting married? Ah, yes. There were many mornings I woke up and said the same thing to myself when I was about to be married. I don't worry, it'll pass. I don't think you've ever had a morning quite like this one, Harry says. Hey, Harry, Laska, a friend of his. We need to go. Hold on a second. Let's see. Now, if they would stand still for a shot, relax, Harry. If all goes well, you'll walk out of this room a lieutenant. Let me see that warp coil schematic. The what? The coil diagram. The one with the new plasma foil equations. I forgot to bring it. Forgot! Harry, we need that diagram to show that we worked out the lithium fracture problem. I'm sorry. Well, we'll just have to improvise. So they go to the meeting. Wait a second. So Harry is at this meeting and he has no clue what the F. So he's meeting with all these admirals and they're talking about the Yellowstone. It's equipped with tetrion plasma warp nacelles and designed for a variety of mission profiles. Yes, Lieutenant, I've looked over your specifications. It's interesting. But how do you propose to address the dilithium fracture problem? Tetrion plasma tends to disrupt in subspace. I'm actually glad you asked that. We've been working on the problem for weeks, and I think we found an answer. And I'd like to introduce you to the engineer who designed these warp engines. And I might add the most promising young engineer to come out of the academy, Ensign Kim. So that's the ship they're talking about. And Harry doesn't know a thing. He decides he's ill and leaves. So, anybody want a computer that big? Oh, yeah, you can get a flat screen TV. Did they know about flat screen TVs back in the 90s? Did we have them? Well, that's what it looks like. It looks like a flat screen TV. That's probably what they used. Um, so he talks to the computer. Computer, display my service record. Graduated Starfleet Academy, Stardate 47918. Requested duty on USS Voyager. Request denied. Requested transfer to Starfleet Engineer Corps. Transfer approved. Starship Design Specialist, awarded the Cohane Medal of Excellence for outstanding advances in warp theory. Computer, access Starfleet Science Academy database. Have there been any temporal analyses and space-time continuum in the last 48 hours? The computer says no. Have there been any contact with Starship Voyager since it lost in the Badlands? Information on USS Voyager is classified. Security level 3 or above is required. He's like, no problem. It's my sheep, or at least I thought it was. Security authorization accepted. Last recorded contact with USS Voyager to its disappearance was on Stardate 48307. Access Voyager crew manifest. Who is the operations manager on board? Ensign Daniel Bird. So then he goes out to talk to, just to walk around. I guess he runs into Cosmo. How'd the meeting go? I wasn't feeling too well. I decided to come home. Oh, you don't look sick to me. Coming home for a little visit with Libby, are you? Don't worry. I'll keep your secret. Thanks. Listen, I know this is going to sound strange, but I forgot to look at the street number when I left this morning. I don't remember which building I live in. Could you tell you where you live? I'm not playing some sort of prank on you, old pal Cosmo, are you? No, like I said, I haven't been feeling well, and everything's foggy. And I would like to point out that he was just in the apartment. He was just where he lived. So why does he have to ask Cosmo where he lives when he was just there? Oh, it was a different place. So now he's with Libby again. Uh, and they have a little talk, and she wants to hear the fact that he loves her. And Kim says, let's pretend I haven't heard you say it in a long time. Pretend that we haven't seen each other in 4 months. Okay, I love you, Harry. Welcome home. So if you haven't seen each other in 4 months, where have you been? On a starship thousands of light years away. On a mission? Yeah, we got a little lost. Sounds lonely. You can't imagine. Tell me something. You didn't stop at Riser along the way, did you? No, no Pleasure Planet excursions, I'm afraid. You thought about me the whole time, every day, every nanosecond. Do me a favor. Don't ever leave again, she says. So then Harry wakes up in the middle of the night and starts looking up the crew manifest 74657. Orlin, Parsons, Peterson's, Platt, Porter. Wait, Paris. Where's Tom Paris? Computer access service record of Starfleet officer Tom Eugene Paris. Convicted of treason, sentenced to 18 months at New Zealand penal settlement. Paroled on stardate 48072. Last reported whereabouts Marseilles, France. Harry, it's 4 in the morning. What are you doing? Oh, I couldn't sleep, so I thought I'd catch up on some work. And then she wants to know what he was doing and stuff like that. So then she tries to get information out of him, and he thinks he's from another reality. You're starting to scare me, Harry. I know, I'm scared too. Maybe you should talk to a counselor, a neurologist. Maybe there's something wrong with you. But there's something I need to do first. I need to go to Marseilles, France. What for? I've got to see Paris. But I thought you just said you were going to Marseilles. So he goes to Paris, and the bar looks really like the one from the holodeck that Paris created. And he runs into Tom Paris. I was trying for a twofer, but it goes Tom, it goes Kim, it goes Tom, it goes Kim. Trying to get a twofer. How do I get rid of that? No idea. You don't know me, do you? Sure, we were at Starfleet Academy together, right? No. Oh, well, it must have been Exeter. We served on Exeter together. No. Try Voyager. Ah, Voyager. Sorry to disappoint you, but I never set foot on that ship. And I can't say that I'm sorry considering what happened to it. You know about the mission to the Badlands? Oh, yeah. Captain Janeway asked me to help her track down that Marquis ship in exchange for early release from the penal colony. But you said no? What? Are you kidding? I said yes. It sounded better than Starfleet Rehab. Anyway, I got as far as Deep Space Nine, where I got into a bar fight with a Ferengi, and I was thrown into the brig by a very unpleasant shapeshifter. Janeway tried to get me released, but my parole was revoked by Starfleet Command. Voyager left without me. That Ferengi, was he trying to sell you low-bite crystals? Yeah, how do you know? Because I was there in my reality. Anyway, Tom, I know this is going to sound crazy, but I was on Voyager and so were you. You never got into the bar fight with the Ferengi. You stopped him from selling me the low-bite crystals, and you did lead us into the Badlands. You're right, that does sound crazy. Something happened, something reality has changed, a temporal anomaly, an alien influence. I can't explain how. All I know is that it's true. I was on a shuttlecraft heading back to Voyager, and then I woke up here on Earth. What do you want? Come with me to Starfleet headquarters. Help me run a computer simulation of what happened on the shuttle. You're the best pilot I've ever seen, and if anyone can figure it out, it's you. You had me there for a minute. You really did, but then you blew it. What are you talking about? You're not getting me to set foot inside Starfleet headquarters, so you can tell whatever admiral or captain who sent you I'm not interested. in being another pawn in their game. It's not a game. Oh, is it? Oh, that's a shame. I like games. You once told me that you used to treat life like one big game. Rules, players, winners, losers. You never took any of it seriously until you lost. You know, you're starting to annoy me. You also told me that you were afraid of what would happen to you if you didn't take Janeway up on her offer. Now I see why. What do you see, Ensign? A loser and a drunk. So then he comes home to a welcoming party. Harry, just relax. Why does everyone say relax when they're about to do something terrible? Starfleet knows what you've been doing. What is exactly? Breaking into classified files, using forged security access codes. I haven't forged anything and I can explain. That's why we're here. We're going to take you back to Starfleet headquarters. They want to ask you some questions. Libby says, Harry, please just go with them. Tell them what you told me. Everything will be all right. I don't have a choice. I'll see you later. That's an awfully big table, don't you think? I mean, they what are they, a foot from the wall? They could have given each other a little more space. Do they need such a huge table? So they're trying to get information out of Harry. You claim to have Voyager security protocols because you were an officer in Voyager. Yes, sir. Lost in the Delta Quadrant. Yes, sir. And Ensign Daniel Bird says that he's... Hey! If you haven't checked out my Star Trek Next Generation recaps, please do so. We were taking apart a chair this morning, and I'm like, Klingon, bat'leth, weapon. Some guy was taking apart a chair 50 years ago. The Klingons need an unusual weapon. And if you could please join me now for the non-Klingon episodes of Star Trek Voyager. Thanks. Okay. I don't know when I disconnected myself. So I'm gonna if this is going through a second time, I apologize. But I was knee deep in this when I realized that my screen was gone. I admit my last comment was the fact that why do they have such a big table? Why do they need to be so far away? Shouldn't they have walk around the table room? Let me go. Uh, uh, you claim to have Voyager security protocol because you were an officer in Voyager. Yes, sir. Lost in the Delta Quadrant. Yes, sir. Ensign Daniel Bai took your place. Yes, sir. Because reality's been changed. Yes, sir. You don't have any evidence to support this. Yes, sir. Harry, I don't doubt for a minute that you believe you're telling the truth, but we have to consider all the possibilities. Like what? Like you could be delusional. You could have your memory centers altered. Or you could be an alien masquerading as Harry Kim. But we want to know why you went to France. Visit an old friend. You have poor taste in friends. Tom Paris is a convicted traitor and a Marquis sympathizer. Now, what did you talk about with him? I tried to tell him what's happened. I wanted his help. To run a shuttle simulation? Why? To figure out how I got here and how I can get back. There must be temporal anomaly somewhere. You think I'm a spy, don't you? You think I'm working for the Marquis. We're here to find the truth, Ensign, whatever that might be. That's it. I'm not answering any more questions without my legal counsel. Harry, we want to help you, but you have to understand what you are telling us doesn't make sense. All we know so far is that you've been seen talking to a Marquis criminal. Oh well. So then he ends up with Cosmo again. I was sent here to watch you, to make sure that you're all right. But it's now clear that you are not. Who are you? We exist in what you call a temporal inversion fold in the space-time matrix. It's not necessary to understand. It only matters that there was an accident. Your shuttle intersected one of our time streams, and boom. A few things were altered as the result of the accident. History and events were scrambled a bit, and you ended up here. Well, you've got to get me back. We don't know how. What? We only know that it was an accident occurred. We don't know how or why. Well, that's not good enough. There's got to be something we can do. Where is this time stream of yours? Maybe I can use it to get back. The time stream weaves through the galaxy like a thread. I could show you how to find it, and you could try to recreate the conditions that existed before the accident and fly back into it. But there's no guarantee what will happen to you if you do. What do you mean? Well, you may be able to change reality again, but there's no way to predict how it would change. You could end up at any point in the space-time continuum. You might return to your original reality, or you might find yourself a billion years in the future, or at some time before sentient life ever existed. I guess I'll have to take the chance because somehow I've got to get back. Are you sure? This is a pretty good chance for you, Harry. You've a wonderful job with Starfleet, a beautiful woman who loves you. Why be so quick to turn your back on all this? Maybe your fate isn't the word you used, that thing when was meant to be. Seems to me like you're actually a very lucky man. What about Danny Burp? He isn't so lucky. And Tom Paris. Fate wasn't kind to him. No, it isn't supposed to be this way. I'm supposed to be on Voyager in the Delta Quadrant, and that's where I have to go. Very well. And he hands um Kim a disc. This will tell you where this time stream intersects the region of space. That is much as I can tell you. Good luck, Harry Kim of Voyager. You're going to need it, unless, of course, you decide to stay. In that case, I'll see you in the morning, same time, Volca Mocha Extra Sweet. So she comes in and sees him removing the ankle monitor that he has on him. You're in enough trouble as it is. What do you want them to do? Put you in prison? No. I'm trying to get back to where I belong. Where you belong. You used to say you belong here with me, but I guess everything's changed, hasn't it? Look, I know the last few days must have been pretty tough on you. Do you? Do you really know what it's like when the person you love suddenly changes? It's still me, the guy that was in your seat at the Katarian Music Festival. The guy who took 3 weeks to work up the courage to ask you out. That guy still wakes up in the middle of the night and says your name out loud, hoping you'll answer back. But if you're real, Harry, you wouldn't be trying so hard to get away from me. And he is. At the end of this convo, he gets the ankle bracelet off. Security shows up. He goes at the fire escape, and she gives him a couple of seconds by halting security so he can get away. So he climbs down the fire escape and runs, and security is behind him. Security catches up to Kim and tackles him, and Tim's on the floor when Tom Paris arrives to the rescue. So they're running away. I know the Starfleet thinks I'm a Marquis spy. I know the feeling. Their security anklets really chafed, didn't they? You're the last person I expected to help me. Let's just say it's been a long time since anybody gave a damn about my future, including me. I don't know if I'm supposed to be on Voyager like you've told me, but it sounds a whole lot better than life I have here. I'm willing to take my chances, Ensign. Call me Harry, you always did. Won't be long before they find us. We'd better keep moving. Wait. I found a way to get back to reality. The problem is I need a ship to do it. I think I have access to a runabout, but I'm going to have to break it out of space dock. Sounds to me like you need a pilot. Are you qualified? Of course I'm qualified. I'm Tom Paris. So they do some computer stuff. I hate when it's so dark you can't see anything, but they end up on the runabout. So they get out of the spacing dock. Enter the coordinates of the time stream into the main computer. Adjusting course to match, going to full impulse. We've got a starship on our tail, Nebula class. I'm going to try and lose them, but they're a lot faster than we are. Attention runabout. Power down your engines or we'll open fire. They're going to try to do everything they can to stop us. They think we're trying to steal this prototype. They're closing in 5,000 meters. And they shoot at them. Shields down to 75%, 50%, 29%. I thought you said this ship was new and improved. It is, but it looks like they haven't finished working on the defensive systems. In fact, some of the rudimentary safety interlocks aren't even in place. A few more hits and I don't... Hit again. We've lost antimatter. And they go through some more stuff with the ship. So there's some more tension moments of suspense, and they end up hitting the warp, and they jump to warp, and they come out by the coordinates, and they've passed through them, and the ship that was pursuing them is coming after them. Will be on their tail in a minute. The starship has repowered its engines. They'll be here in under a minute, Kim. I have to get into that time stream. Wait a minute, I'm forgetting something. The emergency transport. The last thing I remember was hearing Captain Janeway Khan's voice. She said she was trying to beam me off the shuttle. That's it. I've got to get to beam off the ship. Are you crazy? We have to recreate all the conditions of the accident, including one. We lost antimatter containment, 25 seconds to core breach. I've locked onto the time stream. Get on the transporter pad. Not yet. The core is breaching. We've got to shut it down fast. There's no time. That ship will be here in another 30 seconds. In 15 seconds, the ship is going to explode. You'll be killed. Look, if you're right, then things will go back to the way they're supposed to be, and you'll find me back on Voyager. And if I'm wrong, it doesn't work, you'll be blown up to bits. Go! And there's a big explosion after that heart-to-heart talk. I would like to point out on record now, I had moved ahead and then I thought, no, let me go backwards. So I went backwards a little bit. Let me point out that we will be playing this situation again in Season 7. I'm almost positive Season 7 on a shuttlecraft. However, the Doctor will be there, and they'll have that 7 of 9 module thingy, and they'll be trying to communicate with Voyager to save Voyager from going through the rift and ending up in that ice. Just saying, we've been here, and we will be here before again. Sorta, kinda, right? So then Harry's back on his shuttlecraft, and Janeway beams him out. Everybody's on the bridge. B'Elanna, Tuvok, Paris, Chakotay. Shields down, Captain. Lieutenant, the anomaly is sending out heavy subspace distortions. I can't get a positive lock on him. The hull is starting to buckle under the stress. He won't survive much longer. Tuvok, can you boost the transporter signal? Negative. The signal is in maximum gain. 10 seconds to hull breach. He's out of reach, B'Elanna. Can you tie it to the transporter? Directly into the main deflector dish. Use it to extend the signal. I'll try. Hull breach in process. We've got him, Captain. Mr. Kotoke, analyze the sensor logs. I want to know what happened out there. Aye, Captain. Voyager to transporter room 2. Are you all right, Mr. Kim? I think so, Captain. Is Lieutenant Paris there? Yes, he's here. Why? It's a long story. I look forward to hearing it. I'll be in my ready room. So Chakotay tells Kim, we think your shuttlecraft was caught in some kind of temporality. A time stream? Yes, you could call it that. I've already been briefed, Commander. Paris says, welcome back. Kind of a rough ride, huh? What is it, Harry? I owe you one, Kim says to him. And there ends this episode of Non-Sequitur, episode 122. And I hope you will join me next week. Wait a second, where is it? Me and my bat lift. It's going in the trash. I'm sorry, it's my chair. Look at the wear on this. This is after 20 years of chair, sitting on the chair. This was a good chair, but it was really heavy and really bulky and really hard to maneuver, and the hydraulic lift broke too, so you were sitting on the floor. But we took it apart this morning, and I'm like, doesn't this remind you of something? You wonder, just think about it. 20, 30, 40 years ago, someone was going, Klingon needs a weapon. And they were taking apart a chair and like, you know what? It was just an idea. Have a good one.